So far this season, Brennan Armstrong has thrown for 487 yards twice and 554 yards once. He has shown up big for his team in matchups against possible first-round NFL draft picks and is one of the top passers so far this year in college football. Unlike in high school, Armstrong was not an immediate starter his freshman year of college. He needed to sit and wait his turn for a few years, and man has it paid off. But who is Brennan Armstrong? Brennan Armstrong is originally from Shelby, Ohio, which is a little more than an hour north of Columbus and an hour and a half southwest of Cleveland. He was a multi-sport athlete as a kid, telling PFF, "Growing up, I played football, basketball, and baseball. Baseball took up most of my time. I thought baseball was going to be my ticket to college. Just being a lefty pitcher with some good velocity and speed. Baseball, that was my life. Summertime, we were always traveling. I started that when I was 8 years old, and we were traveling every weekend anytime we got a chance, just because that is how you got noticed. I started getting a little burnt out of baseball in a sense. I still played all through high school. I just think I was ready to transition to a new sport, in a sense. On top of that, I was loving the game of football so much. Football was such a new sport for me, so that was always a fun thing about it. It was so new. I wasn't playing it when I was 8 years old. As a quarterback, I just got to throw it into the spot because I could throw. Didn't matter if you were a lefty or not. Lefty, righty, it was just like, you could throw, so we need you to be at quarterback. That's kind of how I got into being a quarterback with football. I don't have some pleasant throwing motion because from baseball, I just kind of gripped it and ripped it. That's just how I throw a football too. It's not like it has a perfect look to it. They're pretty used to it now. When we first started, I would hear a lot about it, but now they're pretty used to it. Brennan attended Shelby High School, where as a freshman, he beat out a senior for the starting job, and the team finished 2-8. During one game, he accounted for 9 touchdowns, yet there was no publicity over his performance. According to Twin Cities Pioneer Press, the local newspaper in North Central Ohio, and national outlets such as Deadspin, Fox Sports, and The Sporting News all focus their coverage on the exorbitant final score, Tiffin's Columbian 83, Shelby 82, and how one of Armstrong's opposing running backs scored 10 touchdowns. As a sophomore, Shelby improved to a 5-5 record, and when Brennan was a junior, he started gaining the attention of college coaches, but I will talk more about his recruitment in a minute. He also went into his high school coach's classroom to talk to him about possibly playing defense. Armstrong's high school coach said he comes in without a speck of arrogance. He said he really wanted an opportunity to play defense. He felt like, and we were, kind of protecting him a bit. We knew at the time he was going to be a college quarterback. So, as a junior, Brennan began playing safety. He finished the year throwing for 2,321 yards and 19 touchdowns, while also rushing for 1,065 yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground. The Whippets finished the year 11-2 and made it to the state quarterfinals. Going into his senior year, Armstrong was suspended for Shelby's first 3 games due to violating training rules. He had attended a party during the previous spring, but was not drinking. He told Twin Cities Pioneer Press that is what got him in trouble. It was a learning experience. When something like that happens, I just have to get out of there and not worry about who I'm with. I learned that the hard way. I will take care of it, and I will definitely not make that mistake again. According to his high school coaches, Armstrong took ownership over it and did not make any excuses. He never missed a practice or workout in 4 years, and during the team sprints, he was always in the front of the pack. As a senior, Armstrong led Shelby to a 13-1 record and an appearance in the Division IV state semifinals. In the 11 games he played, Brennan threw for 1,933 yards and 30 touchdowns, while also rushing for 1,105 yards. He finished his high school career breaking multiple school records and looked to translate his high school success to the college level. Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Brennan Armstrong was a 3-star recruit who was the 20th best dual-threat quarterback, 27th best player in Ohio, and 619th best player nationally. He received over 10 different Division I offers from the likes of Cincinnati, Iowa State, Minnesota, North Carolina, and Virginia. Colleges began taking notice of Armstrong during his junior year, with North Carolina, Virginia, and Iowa State all offering him. While he was still with Western Michigan, PJ Fleck offered Armstrong. When he took over the Minnesota head coaching job, he re-extended the offer to the Shelby native. Armstrong took an unofficial visit to Minnesota that February and verbally committed to them a few weeks later. Then, during October of his senior year, Armstrong started to have second thoughts about going to Minnesota. I would too. Sorry, Tax week, guys. I couldn't hold myself back. And decided to reopen his recruitment, saying on Twitter, after a long process and tons of emotion, my family, coaches, and I have decided it is in the best interest of mine to decommit from the University of Minnesota. With that being said, I will now be committing to the University of Virginia to further my education and my athletic career. I will be shutting down my recruitment. Armstrong would enroll early at Virginia, telling the Mansfield News Journal, the opportunity that was given to me early at UVA was a great opportunity, and I wanted to take full advantage. Baseball, that was one thing I was sad about, but I knew coming in early was the right thing to do. I think waiting would have been worse. Armstrong and fellow quarterback Bryce Perkins enrolled at UVA in January of 2018. Perkins was a transfer from a junior college, Arizona Western, and did more than just win the right to start immediately for the Cavs. In his 2 years as the starter, Perkins established himself as one of the greatest quarterbacks in Virginia history. Armstrong spoke on backing up Perkins, saying, "Obviously, watching him on the field was great and fun, but the biggest thing was seeing how he prepared. Even when Bryce was here, I was always prepared to be the guy. Now that I'm stepping into the role, a little bit has changed in the sense of being more of a leader. Other than that, I'm doing what I do the way I've always done." When spring ball was canceled due to the events of 2020, Armstrong watched film at home, participated in video conferences with coaches and teammates, and stayed active by riding a bike around town, lifting weight in a makeshift gym, and tossing around a football with ex-high school teammates including Ashland University tight end Carter Brooks. Armstrong spoke on the gym saying, "I'm very lucky my little brother Camden, a high school sophomore, his friend has a big garage, a gym with a squat rack and a bench rack. I go out there every morning at 8 and lift it. It's all about routine. We had a routine at school. Now I'm home, I have to set a routine. I still have classes going on. Now it's just sticking to the routine and staying as safe as I can." As a freshman, Armstrong appeared in 4 games, throwing for 62 yards and 1 touchdown, while also rushing for 74 yards on the ground. During the 2019 season, Armstrong was sidelined for 4 weeks due to a turf toe injury, but appeared in 7 games, throwing for 196 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Going to his first year as a starter, Armstrong's quarterback coach Jason Beck spoke highly of him, saying, "The biggest thing is, when he's gotten thrown in there, he's made good plays in critical times in the games. And just being able to handle the stage and handle the pressure when you get thrown in there, that just says a lot about someone. A lot of the times, guys get in there and it's really fast and it is too much for them. Brennan has that confidence and he expects himself to go in there and make plays." Going into the 2020 season, Brennan Armstrong was named the captain. He would start 9 of Virginia's 10 games, missing the Wake Forest game due to an injury. He finished the year throwing for 2,117 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So far during the 2021 season, Armstrong has thrown the ball a lot and has put up video game-esque numbers. He has played in 10 of Virginia's 11 games, missing the Notre Dame game with an injury, and has thrown for 4,044 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions this season, which ranks 3rd nationally behind Bailey Zappi and Will Rogers. He will have 2 more games, the Virginia Tech game and Virginia's bowl game, to add to his crazy stat line, but will have 1 more year of eligibility. If he chooses to return to college, he could be a contender for the Heisman Trophy if he is able to repeat the success he has had this season. What do you think? Will Brennan Armstrong be a Heisman contender next year? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.